Why David Tennant missed out on returning in the How to Train Your Dragon live-action reboot, director Dean DeBlois explains. The beloved How to Train Your Dragon franchise has captured the hearts of audiences worldwide since the original animated film debuted in 2010. The Oscar-nominated movie, followed by 2 successful sequels and a Netflix series, introduced viewers to a richly developed Viking world filled with dragons, adventure, and heartfelt stories. Among the many memorable characters in this saga is Snotlout Jorgenson, a brash and confident young Viking, and his father Spitelout Jorgenson, a large, imposing warrior voiced by the highly acclaimed actor David Tennant in the original animated films and the Netflix series. However, fans of the franchise recently noticed that the live-action reboot of How to Train Your Dragon features a notable change. David Tennant does not reprise his role as Spitelout Jorgenson. Instead, the role is played by Peter Serafinowicz. This casting switch raised some questions among longtime fans and industry watchers alike. Why would such a talented and iconic actor from the franchise be replaced in the new adaptation? The film's director, Dean DeBlois, recently addressed this issue during an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, shedding light on the reasoning behind this decision and what it means for the franchise going forward. Dean DeBlois on David Tennant's absence in the live-action film. Dean DeBlois, the visionary filmmaker behind the original How to Train Your Dragon trilogy and the director of the live-action reboot, explained that the absence of David Tennant in the new film was not due to any shortcomings or dissatisfaction with his previous work. On the contrary, DeBlois spoke highly of Tennant's talent, calling him such a talented actor, and expressing his admiration for what Tennant brought to the role of Spitelout in the animated films. The main issue, DeBlois revealed, came down to the physicality of the role. He elaborated that Spitelout Jorgenson is a big, brawny, large person, and the director felt that Tennant, despite his tremendous acting skills, was not the right physical match to bring this character to life in a live-action setting. I felt embarrassed that we didn't have a big enough role for him in the animated films, DeBlois confessed. But the character that he played, Spitelout, who is Snotlout's father, is just such a big, brawny, large person that I didn't think David would physically be the right match for him. This explanation highlights the unique challenges filmmakers face when transitioning beloved animated characters into live-action adaptations. While voice acting allows for a broader range of interpretation, live-action portrayals demand considerations of physical appearance, presence, and the ability to embody the character in a more tangible way. The live-action adaptation required an actor who could physically embody the imposing stature of Spitelout, a task DeBlois felt better suited for Peter Serafinowicz. Looking to the future, will David Tennant return? Although David Tennant was not cast in the live-action film as Spitelout, DeBlois hinted at the possibility of Tennant's involvement in future installments of the How to Train Your Dragon reboot series. We're still in the process of rebooting the Dragon saga, DeBlois said, suggesting that there might be a perfect role for Tennant to play in upcoming films. This opens the door for fans to hope that Tennant's talent and connection to the franchise could be leveraged in new and creative ways as the series expands. Given Tennant's versatility as an actor, with a career spanning everything from the iconic role of the 10th Doctor in Doctor Who to intense dramatic performances, it's easy to imagine him taking on a variety of characters in the Viking world. Whether as a new dragon rider, a Viking elder, or a mysterious figure from dragon lore, Tennant's return to the franchise could add depth and star power to future productions. The live-action reboot, new faces and familiar voices. The How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake brings a fresh cast to the saga's beloved characters. Mason Thames stars as Hiccup, the young Viking protagonist who forms an unlikely bond with a dragon named Toothless. Nico Parker plays Astrid, Hiccup's courageous and loyal friend who shares his passion for dragons and adventure. In a notable return, Gerard Butler reprises his role as Stoick the Vast, Hiccup's father, transitioning from his voice work in the animated trilogy to physically embodying the character in the live-action adaptation. Butler's presence lends a strong connection between the old and new versions of the story, bridging the animation legacy with the live-action vision. The film's narrative remains faithful to the themes that made the original animated movie so beloved: courage, friendship, and the quest for understanding between humans and dragons. Yet, the reboot also offers new perspectives and visual grandeur made possible by cutting-edge filmmaking technology. How to Train Your Dragon, a franchise that continues to soar. Since its original release in 2010, How to Train Your Dragon has grown into a beloved franchise with a passionate fanbase. The story of Hiccup and Toothless resonates with audiences of all ages, thanks to its compelling storytelling, memorable characters, and breathtaking animation. The franchise has won numerous awards and earned critical acclaim for its heartfelt portrayal of friendship and courage. The transition to live-action marks a new chapter for the franchise, aiming to reach a wider audience and introduce the magical Viking world to a new generation. While some casting changes, such as David Tennant's absence, may initially surprise fans, the creative choices made by Dean DeBlois and the production team reflect a thoughtful approach to adapting a cherished animated story for a live-action format. As How to Train Your Dragon continues to evolve, fans can look forward to new adventures, fresh faces, and hopefully, the return of beloved actors like David Tennant in roles that showcase their talents and deepen the saga's rich mythology. In theaters now, How to Train Your Dragon live-action reboot is currently running in cinemas worldwide, inviting audiences to experience the magic of dragons and Vikings in an entirely new way. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the saga, the film promises an exciting adventure filled with heart, humor, and heroic quests.